Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Hong Kong Sevens. This one, a ninth place semi-final fixture. Now, what that means, whoever wins this game goes on to play off for ninth, which currently is going to be in a game up against the Irish. They are currently beating Uruguay 31 points to 7. So the winner of this game, they'll have a tough test. But this game, they cannot look past it, as this is normally a game we'd see happening a lot higher up in the rankings than a chance at ninth. Samoa, their starting lineup, Poeti Slater, Va'a Pilomaleko. Now, he did have a bit of an injury a couple matches ago. Hopefully, he is now fully recovered. Valvasa Afasua, Paul Scanlon, Tuna Tuitama, Fa'afoi Falaniko, and Nueli Letufia. So pretty similar to what we have seen them go with in the past, Samoa, other than making the change of no Taunu'u Naulivaya in the starting lineup. But they have apparently got Steve Onisai as an option off the bench. I know that he also was nursing a bit of an injury. Looking through at the Australians, Nathan Lawson, the man who was able to get himself 2 tries in their last fixture, Henry Patterson, Tim Clements, Maurice Longbottom, Dietrich Roach, Darby Lancaster, Hayden Sargent. That is the starting side for the Aussies. So they'll be looking for a quick start here. Australia put the pressure on Samoa from the get-go, and Gaines is set to private. Amish says, Kurt, it was. We had a little bit of I guess you could say, a misorganized scenario, which was I didn't realize how much that game overlapped with other sevens, like scheduling and everything along those lines. And the thing is, when I thought about having it set to private, you were the one person who came to mind. We're going to have to do a Canes game and also a Glasgow game for you some stage in the near future. But yeah, George didn't end up coming in. My mum wasn't available for the 20-minute window where we were going to be doing the Samoa game versus Australia. What I can tell you, though, is the Canes are dominating that fixture, doing very nicely. Last I saw of it, it was 31 points to 7. And also, Black Caps in their T20 going to a super over up against Sri Lanka. A little bit of a flashback to some time when the Black Caps weren't quite able to get themselves an ODI World Cup. And 31-7 so far, so I'm still happy, says Kerr there. Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on it throughout. I just felt bad that we weren't able to get that one organised enough to be able to do the commentary for it alongside the Sevens. Because that's the thing, it was either this game at this point and then maybe switching back, or maybe scheduling straight after, hoping to squeeze it in time. But yeah, it's going to be tricky. They're showing a very zoomed in picture of one of the Aussies' eyes at the moment. I don't know what the reasoning was behind that. It wasn't bloodshot. It was just literally an eyeball. Or well, isn't an optometrist? That's the fellow who deals with eyes, isn't it? He'd be loving that shot. Both sides making their way out onto the field now. Key players, Fa'afoi Falaniko. See what he can do when he is out there up against this Australian side. That Samoa, like I mentioned, normally play for a higher ranking. Normally this would be a regular semi-final, maybe a quarterfinal. They do find themselves, they win this game, they will play off for ninth up against the Ireland side as well. And you do plenty of happens, says Kerr, and there as well. That's the thing though, even when I do plenty of streams, when I miss one, I still feel like just not good enough. you know. And Robert has got the eyes there, and also the love hearts from Kerr in there as well. Ben Breakspear in charge of this one for the Welsh. 85th match on the series. The voices sounded a little bit better than it did earlier on, though. Right at the end of that last stream, it sounded like it was gone. Luckily, it's come back. It's going to be ready for this exciting ninth place semi-final. Both sides out on the field. Dietrich Roach will be kicking this one off for the Australians, and we are now underway, ladies and gentlemen, for yet again another match in Hong Kong. Roach will go short to the left-hand side. Nicely taken, though. I believe that was Paul Scanlon lifted up by his teammate. Va'a Pilomaleko goes across to Poeti Slater. Now Olivia ball on the outside to Tuna Tuitama. He also got himself 2 tries in the last fixture. And I mentioned this throughout the preview. These two guys, or these two teams, most recent game, extremely similar. One player got a double, almost the exact same timing of them. Then other 2 players scoring at pretty similar times as well. It's up Hamish, says Selenium, and go the Manu, says Selenium there. Yeah, spot in a semi-final up against the Irish, or a final, sorry, I should say, for 9th place. The playoffs now, Iti Slater, good fend, moving up to 35 metres out from the line. Tuitama protects it for the Samoans. Letufia goes back across to the right-hand side. Volvas Alfasua now. Off to Paul Scanlon. Pinning the ears back, going down the wing, gives it off to Pilo Maleko. So if he had any injury, he's looking like he's fine. Now bumping off the tackle with Dietrich Roach. Still going. Pilo Maleko wrestled down to the turf. Gets the offload away to Letufia. Quick hands. Eti Slater. Great out wide from Tuna Tuitama to be able to hang on to that one. Lancaster misses the tackle twice. Now Dietrich Roach not going to be able to stop Tuna Tuitama. And he scores. Oh, he almost did. Tuitama took a bit long to put that one down there. No need to feel that. He's put in a huge amount of work and effort, says Kerr. And there as well. Is this when I break the news that we might end up not doing Bulls versus Toulouse tonight? Just with the early morning start, I've learnt that I am starting at 8 a.m. on Monday morning, which is a bit earlier than first anticipated. And GBUS was a good game. It was. Great Britain did extremely well throughout that fixture to just kind of, I guess you could say that. I'm trying to say sentences, but you could say game management. They were very strategic with how they went. They scored their points early, then just managed to keep the US out of that contest. Even though they were trying a couple to fire back, that kick is missed from Samoa. That could be crucial. They didn't quite get that one off the boot the way he would have liked. It was very flat the way that it kicked. Tuitama though, or Tuna Tuitama, sorry. 4 tries so far throughout Hong Kong. Could get another one maybe throughout this match. Lancaster knocks it back for the Australians. It'll be Sargent now. Oh, was that backwards? They have said yes, it was. Got very lucky with that bounce of the ball. Now Sargent again. Going across to Maurice Longbottom. Dietrich Roach waiting for this one. Good step from Lancaster. Now using his pace. He's going to be hard to catch. Pretty much everyone has given up except for Nanueli Letufia, who's not going to get him, but he does manage to force him wide. And that might make a little bit more of a challenging kick for the Australians. But Darby Lancaster, his first try in Hong Kong. Tuitama is having a great tournament, says Liam. He certainly is. I feel like he's really stepped up throughout this leg of the Sevens. I know that they're going to be playing in Singapore next week. I think he will certainly be one player to watch out for in that competition as well. But Darby Lancaster, good pace shown. Letufia was trying his best to be able to cut him off. Made it a harder kick. So depending on whether or not this goes over, will determine how much praise Letufia gets. Dietrich Roach misses. Great work from Letufia then to force Lancaster just that little bit wider. Meant that they weren't able to capitalize on the extra 2 points. Quarter of the way through this match at the moment. We are all even 5-5. The Super Rugby is a good one. There's Brandon Shaw's Hurricanes getting themselves a lot of tries throughout that first half. To be honest, they could get 50, I think. Got a good chance, and also the super over in the cricket. Nice offload there from Australia. Now for the corner. He's kicked that one in behind. It has gone into touch. Been smashed towards the touchline, though, by Pilo Maleko. Quick throw from the Samoans. Trying to keep this one alive now, going out wide. Believe it is going to be Tuna Tuitama again versus Darby Lancaster. Puts on the afterburners. Finds the offload. Dietrich Roach sat down by Falaneko. Not able to go directly through. They thought about the offload during the breakdown. I believe they would have been able to grab that one, but it was a little knock on from the Australians. Now Samoa back across. Eti Slater sitting 40 metres out. This game being played at a fast tempo. I wonder if both sides can keep it up. Now good tackle made by Henry Patterson. He actually got himself a try in the last game for Australia as well. Now Paul Scanlon thought about the offload on the inside. Instead runs it himself. Hits hard. Does just drop that ball on the ground, or does he? He lost control of it, but I think he might have almost regathered. Super over, says over there, and 38 points to 14, says Kerr there. Oh, okay, so Western Force getting one back. Who do you think out of the Hurricanes has played the best so far throughout the game, Kerr? Who would you go with? Oh, Roach got his ankle and shin stood on there. That wouldn't have felt nice. That'll have a big bruise straight down the front. Are you done your live stream crazy this weekend? Ready to do it all again next weekend? Yeah, that's the thing. Every live stream we did this weekend, I believe there is the exact replica next weekend. We've got all the sevens for Singapore, although it is just men's sevens for Singapore. Saying that, though, the only women's game that we have covered is going to be coming up a bit later on tonight, and that is the game between New Zealand and Fiji. Other than that, we've been a little bit quiet with the women's game unfortunately. I feel like I would have liked to cover a lot more of their games as well. Nice stepping there from Clements. Ball on the outside to Lancaster. Definitely the danger man for Australia out wide. Penalty goes the way of the Australia. How are you not losing your voice, Hamish? I have no idea. Because back in the day, we used to do 2 or 3 live streams in a row and then it would go. I think it's this stuff, H2O. That rhymes. I could be a rapper if I wanted to be. Probably not, though. And Kurt, is your name Wayne? Nice. Quick tap taken by the Australians. Maurice Longbottom goes out to Dietrich Roach. He's got a man on his outside. Doesn't look like he really wants to use him, I should say. Now decides to give it to Dally Bird. One of the replacements for Australia. I believe, looking around at this side, is that for Dietrich Roach? Oh, that's going to be a penalty against the Samoans again. And poet more like. Your poetry is probably more my forte than rapping. And Sullivan seems to be having a good game. Balin Sullivan, I mentioned it on, I think it was yesterday's stream, wasn't it? That I said about, we were talking about young players for the Warriors, or sorry, not for the Warriors, for the Hurricanes that have got potential. And his name did pop up in that midfield, Balin Sullivan. Pass back by Australia. Dietrich Roach now runs straight at the line, 1 metre short here. Around the side, held up. Brilliant work and brilliant strength shown by Paul Scanlon. Counter ruck from the Samoans. They lost their footing though. Quick tap taken, and that will be the try for the Australians. He bounces his way over the line. He's hurt himself in the process though. Unfortunately, a player is not supposed to bounce like a bouncy ball. And he's kind of gone boing, boing, boing straight over the line. I think it's probably ribs or something along those lines that he's hurt. And don't worry, I bring covering woman for you, Hamish. Says Brandon, let's go the Manu. And well done, Sri Lanka. And there says Obi. But yeah, the Black Cats, I think for that super over, I did get to see the first 3 balls. They didn't get off to the greatest start. Although, did New Zealand win it in the end? I'm just having a look now. The target was 9. They used up all their over? No, yeah, they got their 11. Never mind. They had only 7 on the board for them. I was a little bit confused. I have to go see you later, Wayne. And I was there. Let's go, Manu Samoa. And there as well. That kick is going to be successful. I believe. Yes, it was. Successful conversion. 12 points to 5 in favour of Australia. A hectic first 7 minutes of Sevens action there. My mum's coming in. She looks sad. She watched the Super Over. She watched the one in 2019 up against England in the ODI World Cup final as well. Super Over curse, she said. Yeah, they're not great at them, are they? Australia happy enough with that first half, having the lead over the Samoans. Whoever wins this goes on to face up against the Irish. And I was real good there. Can you read my messages, Brandon? The one about the woman I did read a little bit ago. Tackles 9 made by Samoa, only the 1 missed tackle, whereas Australia have missed 7. So that just says if Samoa get the ball a little bit more, they're going to have a good chance. Just joking, Brandon says, Nate. And I was like, how goes it? How goes it? That's a saying that I don't think I use very often, but I might, because I always go, how's it going? But how goes it? You rearrange it a little bit. Unique. I was trying to work out that accent, but it is an Aussie one. He's just got the twang. It makes it quite hard to understand him. I had to listen to about 2 sentences before I realized he was speaking English. But 2 line breaks for Samoa and Australia in this contest. Certainly fast-paced. Samoa looking still relatively fresh. Might benefit them here in the second half. They need to do what they did up against Canada in the first half. They were able to get 29 points. And Milne, after for us, didn't go for any Yorkers. Says Pads Ablaze. Although saying that, knowing the history of Super Overs for New Zealand, it always makes it tough. Like at the end of the day, it was bold of Sri Lanka to go with their spinner, but that seemed to work out not too badly. And hey, there, Kerr. All is good here, buddy. Says Nate. All right, Samoa about to kick off the second half. So theoretically, Australia might end up with the position here unless they're able to get it back at first. Or Milne's first ball was a slow ball, says Obi. Go kicking off. 7 minutes left. Glasgow versus Lions next round. Should be a win for us. Should, says Kerr there. Oh, it would be interesting. I wish that was on like here in New Zealand. The Challenge Cup for some reason we don't get, but that will be a good game to be able to watch. Yeah, hopefully Glasgow goes all right. Paddle is a good win for your rugby game, says Brandon. Our little fair going across a Whaafoe Whalaniko to start this match. They've still got Nuulivai off the bench, but once again, Samoa are going to be penalised. And 43-21, a yellow for the four, says Kerr. So a lot of points coming in the later stages. It's always a shame when you don't do a game and it's a good one. It's like Brumbies versus Waratahs last night. Ended up being 40 points to 36 with the last minute try to the Brumbies. Like we seem to be able to pick the games that when we don't do them, they're always the best games of the season. That's going to be another penalty, this time going in favour of the Samoans for the Australians leaving their feet in the breakdown. Maurice Longbottom, the man who was penalised for it. Looks like Samoa might be kicking this one downfield towards the touchline. We will get to see a line out in play, which is something you don't see too often in the Sevens in general play. Normally it is the scrum that is the more favoured option for the Sevens games. Yeah, Maurice Longbottom just leaving his feet, putting their hands down over the breakdown. I should mention, ladies and gentlemen, we have got plenty more Sevens coming up tonight. Our next live stream, I believe, is going to be at 6:20 p.m. and that will be the game taking place between South Africa and USA. Before that, we have got some more action. That's a kick in behind. Tuna Tuitama chasing after it. Nicely taken there. I believe there was Darby Lancaster. Him versus Tuitama has been a great battle so far. The penalty does go the way of Samoa. They're looking for the ball. Can they get it? They do. They consider the quick tap. Whalaniko not quite on the mark, though. And Hamish, you was doing, then you call it off. Yeah, I left it a little bit late because it did seem like from the discussions that we were possibly not going to be doing it about 4 hours. Oh, Pilo Maleko, they're going to have to check this one. May have just scored right in the right-hand corner. But yeah, we did have it that we were possibly going to be calling it off a little bit earlier, but then we just left it a little bit late. And you got the Chiefs game. Most importantly, we won, says Mr. JJ there. Now, Pilo Maleko, this would not give them the lead. They might be able to get back to a drawn playing field. Apilo Maleko. It's whether or not, he's got it down just in the field of play. That is brilliant work from the skipper. That now makes the score 10 points to 12. Still in favour of the Australians, and 5 tries in 46 minutes for a hooker was unreal in the Glasgow game yesterday, though, says Kerr. Kind of reminds me of, do you remember the game? I can't remember when it happened. I think it was 2 years ago or so. But I think Dave Cherry for Edinburgh ended up getting like 3 hooker tries in about 11 minutes or something ridiculous like that. Is that something that happened? I can't remember, but I believe it was something like that, how they just kept on going to the rolling maul and it just kept on working. I guess it was the same for Glasgow, how they just kept on hustling. Did the replacement hooker get any tries, Kerr? Or did he miss out? Now 4 minutes remaining. Samoa will be kicking this one off. They do still sit at 10 points to 12 with an unsuccessful conversion. It's gone high. Oh, foot trip there. No Olivia. The penalty does go in favour of the Samoans, and Samoa have now got a man advantage as it's going to be, I believe that is Hayden Sargent. He threw the ball away, which gets you a yellow card in sevens. They will now go for the scrum. Yeah, I think it was a hat trick in 15 minutes. Yeah, so that's, when you're a hooker and you end up in that scenario, you're like, it's easy, isn't it? And normally it's that 4 pack in front of you. That's why, who was it recently that got a lot of praise for scoring a huge amount of tries, but it was just because they had such a strong 4 back in front? Was it the Blues? I think it might have been the Blues with Kurt Eklund. Couple season or 1 season ago, everyone was saying how many tries he was getting, but the 4 back in front of him, when you got Papali'i, Satutu, Akira Ioane, Robinson, Tui Palotu, Tuangafasi, like you're always going to get some momentum. Replacement didn't get any, but 11 tries for Glasgow in total. Nice confidence boost ahead of the Lions. That's going to be another penalty going the way of Samoa. Yeah, there were a lot of tries scored throughout the Champions and Challenge Cup games. I don't think there were too many low-scoring close ones, other than maybe Leicester versus, I believe they were up against Edinburgh. I think that was the lowest scoring Champions Cup game anyway. Every other game was relatively high, but the penalty goes the way of the Australians. They'll look to slow this down. A minute left of the yellow card, 3 minutes left in this fixture. Only 10 metres out from their line, and they will now kick this one downfield for touch, the form of Maurice Longbottom. Trying to get some angle there. Made it down to just outside of the 22. Can you do Fiji versus New Zealand? As we see, says Brandon, we have got the women's game between Fiji and New Zealand, the semi-final. That will be happening at 7:05 p.m., so 2 hours time for us here in New Zealand. Then alongside that, we have also got the final, which could end up being New Zealand versus Fiji for the men, depending on how their semi-finals go. Nicely taken there by Nathan Lawson. Been relatively quiet in this game compared to his last match, where he was able to get himself the 2 tries. Now passed on the outside. Good step there from, I believe that was Tim Clements. Advantage is over for the Australians, waiting for that ball to bounce into his hands. Dietrich Rocha took a while. He got a bit of a late shot to the ribs there. After now, big run from a big individual there. Dally Bird moves up to 40 meters out, but Pilo Maleko over the ball, wins the penalty, takes the quick tap, and Samoa now trying to create some momentum. Got a shot on the spine as well. Quick hands there for Samoa. Nice step on the inside from Fa'afoi. Falaniko offloads to Naulivaya. Doesn't often pass, and it doesn't look like he will until he does hit the ground. Goes for the offload. Now out wide to Tuna Tuitama. Looking for the corner, 5 meters out. Great defense from the Australians. How long can they hold on for? Hold on for is the better way of saying it. Naulivaya reaches. Couldn't quite get out there. Now around the side. Fa'afoi Falaniko, 1 meter out. Letufea goes out wide. Samoa will run in the try. And that will be Va'apilo Maleko who gets it. And that may just about seal the match for them. And Ouch Medics in on immediately for Cameron after a big hit. Hopefully Brett Cameron's all right. That's the thing. That's probably a position that the Hurricanes more recently, like they've been fine, but 1 or 2 years ago, they were really struggling for that fly half. They had that season where it was Jackson Garden Bishop. They got Auburn Ledger in there. I don't know whereabouts that man's ended up now for his rugby. I think he does still play for Counties Manukau, I think he is, out for the Bunnies EBC. But yeah, it was that case of they didn't really know who their fly half was going to be. That kick is missed from Samoa, which still means that if Australia get themselves a try without a conversion, they will win this game, and they've got 19 seconds to be able to try and do it. And Samoa want this clock down now. They certainly do. They will end up going on to face Ireland in the 9th place playoff game. I believe that's taking place at around 9 p.m. New Zealand time, somewhere around there. We'll be scheduling that live stream as soon as we physically can for that next one. Also at about 6 p.m. we will have our preview of Fiji when they do take on the USA. That's going to be kicked off long, going into touch. Oh, Australia. They couldn't do too much about it. The referee said that it is out. Australia say no, it wasn't. And they're frustrated. I don't know if this ball was out. He's flagged it full time. Just because he's flagged it doesn't mean it was out, though. This is going to be unlucky for the Australians. It was kept in. They're frustrated. And that is going to be Samoa making their way through to the next stage. It's an unfortunate way to end an entertaining match. Have something like that happen. But I believe Australia, they did manage to swap that ball back into the field of play. So it would have been play on from inside of their 22. But instead, the referee on the touch side said that it was out. Kane's down to 14, already used all replacements, and Cameron off injured. There's Kerr there. That's probably exactly what we're going to end up ticking over to for straight after this game. In fact, we'll have a look now, see what they are sitting at in terms of the time. Go there. It's got 6 minutes remaining. Should we just stick around on this live stream for 6 more minutes while the end of the Hurricanes Force game takes place? I feel like that is the least that I can do for you, Kerr. But yeah, 6 minutes remaining in that game. And it's looking like a nice afternoon in Manawatu, to be fair. But this game has finished, even though the scoreboard says something completely different. The Samoans able to get themselves the victory. A great game from Va'apilo Maleko to be able to help his Samoan side into their game up against the Irish. And Sweet Blues, or Boss, I think that is from Blues. And also Awesome Boy says Selenium for the Samoans. Yeah, just a little bit unlucky at the end for the Australians. Like I mentioned, Samoa move on to face Ireland. The time that that game has taken place, we'll quickly get that up. They will be playing that matchup at 9:05 p.m. New Zealand time. So more than likely, we'll have a preview out for that game possibly as well if we do get time to be able to film it. And then, yeah, that will be playing for ninth. Fiji have their semi final up against Great Britain. France have their semi final up against New Zealand. We're covering both of those games and also the 6:20 match between South Africa and the USA thrown in there with the women's game also on the cards. But speaking of the Fijians, Manasa Mataeli doing very well for his Western Force side. By the looks of it, it is 28 points to 45 in the Super Rugby match. For anyone who is curious about that one, the bonus points still in favour of the Hurricanes. I'm still waiting for the scoreboard to say that it's the end of the game, though. That would be quite nice. A weird ending, but hey, a winner's a win. We'll take it. Says Selenium. And that's the thing. 2 or 3 weeks, 2 leagues from now, Samoa might have that same thing against them. In fact, earlier on in the competition, they actually did in their game up against Argentina. Should have been play on, but the referee did say that it was match over or a knock on. So they went back. No, sorry. The ball almost went out. So they then went back for the original advantage when Samoa could have scored a quick try there and maybe had still a chance of drawing that fixture. So they've had a 50-50, I guess you could say. But Roygaard's still playing for the Hurricanes in this contest. Has he been having a good game, Kerr, from the match? But the subs, we did see them made relatively late for both of these sides. Sargent, he did end up getting himself that yellow card for throwing the ball away. Dally Bird, he had a real impact. Didn't see Matthew Gonzalez too much. I wonder whether or not that might have been due to injury, and Josh Turner also not getting too much time out there on the park either. But Nauli Vai, the big man, helping out the Samoans. BJ Lima, Latero, Taupo, and Onisai, I don't think I saw really too much of them either. Oh, knock on there from the Western Force. It's now going to be the scrum for the Hurricanes. Seems quiet since he came on, says Kerr. And there as well. Oh, did he not start the match, Kerr? Who started the match for them? Did they go? Oh, they got instead. They could have gone with. Did they go with Perenara? Perenara's still injured, I believe. So if they went with Roygaard off the bench, why have I forgotten the other halfback that they've got? Jamie Booth, did he start? Or did he come off? If it wasn't Jamie Booth, there's that other guy as well. And the guy seems quieter as well, says Kerr. I guess they go through their kind of ups and downs, don't they? They've probably come on at a time when the Western Force are starting to find a little bit more impact in this match. They have got the penalty there, though, at the scrum for the Hurricanes. 2 minutes remaining in that game, which is what we are just talking about for the final few moments of this live stream. Then after that, we are jumping into our next live stream, which will be at 6:20 p.m. I should mention we've also got a preview for the match between Fiji and Great Britain that will be coming out probably around that 6 p.m. mark. After that one, we'd also hopefully be able to get our Samoa Island one filmed. And maybe, just maybe, if it works out the way that we want it to, we are actually hoping to film a New Zealand versus Fiji Sevens video on Rugby Challenge 4. If I do find the time to edit it. If not, would you guys be keen in seeing an old video maybe re-uploaded with myself and Isaac playing along with that, seeing as we will have Isaac on the channel next week? I feel like that would actually work better because of the fact that Isaac is going to be introduced on the channel. And Hamish is the son as good as the chiropractor dad, BJ Lima. He's had a couple good moments for Samoa so far throughout his short stint in the Sevens. Like, I see him with a bright future, and I think I can say that about a majority of these young Samoan players, whether that is Tuna Tuitama. He's kind of only recently made his way into the team and looks like he's going absolutely nowhere now. Still young, plenty of rugby left for him. Exactly right. It's like Peyton Spencer, Carlos Spencer's boy. That's going to be a try for the Western Force now. That might cancel the bonus point. Does that cancel? Yeah, it does. Cancels out the bonus point with 1 minute remaining on the clock. That'll be frustrating for the Hurricanes. Been quite nice to get that extra point. But Jake Strawn, the man who was able to score it, takes the kick, gets it over, and the Western Force still feel they can get themselves maybe one more. Glasgow versus the Canes on Rugby Challenge 4, says Kerr. You know what? Just for you, Kerr, when me and George are doing our Rugby Challenge 4, I think he wants to do the likes of the Rugby Championship and whatnot. I'll recommend that one and see what he says. I would assume it would be something along the lines of why the F would you do that game? But who knows? Maybe it pops up at some stage in the future. We could do like a combined URC and Super Rugby type competition. It's a tough one in the air, but the Hurricanes are able to take it Now with 13 seconds left in their game, anyone wondering about the result here, Samoa getting themselves the victory, so they will move through to take on the Irish in the ninth place playoff game. That is at 9:05 p.m. New Zealand time. So be sure to check that one out. What did I say as my prediction for the score in this game? Did anyone watch my preview? Because I said it and I can't remember it. I think I said that Samoa would win 26 points to 12, something. And I was like, George will ask, who is Glasgow? More than likely, yeah. If I said to George, name me one Glasgow player, I don't think he'd be able to do so. If I had to name, tell you what, if it was like a game show and it was like name 5 Glasgow players for $10, I don't know whether I could get 5, which is really bad. Glasgow. I just got to get into the rhythm of naming them. Jack Dempsey, he's a Glasgow boy, isn't he? Alongside him, they've got the halfback. Come on, we've got to get Glasgow names, surely. Who else have they got other than Jack Dempsey? They got more than him in the team. That's normally how a team works. Oh, this is really bad. I haven't watched one of their games in a while, Kerr. I feel like I'm letting you down. Oh, knocked backwards by the Hurricanes. Penalty goes their way, so they might try and take this bonus point back. Hopefully, they do know the scenario in which they do sit, which means that they do need another try. Someone would have told them. It looks like Geordie Barrett. What are they deciding? You got to go for the corner here, don't you? Yep. Geordie Barrett's going to be kicking that one for the corner. And also, Barrett was shocking in the Blues game yesterday. He pretty much lost the game. I think his missus have been cheating on him, or there's a personal issue. Says Jake the Woke. I mean, I don't know whether that warrants like standing dead when you are putting the ball down. I think that was just a complete brain fade. And then he was playing good up till that point. Once that happened, he just lost pretty much all plans. Reese Webb, is he a Glasgow boy? Reese Webb's actually Welsh, though, so he wouldn't be there. Sorry. Wrong name. Who else plays for Glasgow? There's guys in their back line. It's actually going to really annoy me that I can't think of anyone. I keep on thinking of Welsh teams. I keep on thinking of the Ospreys, which I could name quite a few of their players, but that's no good. And then I also keep on thinking of Cardiff, which is another one that it's not the team that I'm after. And Kyle Stain, Hugh Jones, there we go. George Horn, that's all to help you get. All to help you get. Yeah, so that's a good backline that they have got involving Kyle Stain, Jones, and whatnot. We've got a couple well-known forwards. Morning, mate, says Danston. Welcome in. Currently in this game, the Samoans, they were victorious. We are just waiting to see the end of the Hurricanes versus Western Force game, which looks like it's going to go to probably about 85 minutes at this stage. Yeah, let's start racking them up, says Kerr. I'm still thinking through players. The Force is catching up to the Hurricanes just now. Yeah, at this stage, the Hurricanes, if they get themselves another try, they get their bonus point back. If the Western Force score themselves another try, they'd be within 7, and they would get themselves that bonus point. In fact, even if they got themselves a penalty here, that would get them to the 7. They are not too far out from their own line now, though, the Western Force. 10 metres out, the Hurricanes going to be going for their attack again. Big moment. Asking for the call. No one told him. Okay, now they have. Throwing the ball in. It's gone over the top. Oh, Geordie Barrett committed big time there. Here come the Western Force with another chance. Richie Gray, one of the big name forwards for you, says Kerr. Johnny Gray also play for them. They're both brothers, both in the same spot. Jack Dempsey is a Glasgow boy, though, isn't he? That is at least one thing that I got slightly right. My brain's gone blank for Glasgow players. I don't know why, which sounds really bad. The problem is, all I think of when I think of Glasgow is Drew McIntyre with his Glasgow kiss, but that's no good to me. After watching the Heineken Cup last night, just saw the style of play and thinking myself, New Zealand teams are the strongest there is, says Danston there. Yeah, we saw a lot of tries being scored throughout the Heineken's Champions Cup, which is the same here. Great run from Roygaard there. Pierced in the line for the Hurricanes. Still a late chance of them being able to get themselves a try. They're going to play for 90 minutes. Yeah, Dempsey is there. So at least they managed one. Oh, it's a knock-on advantage. Now the Western Force going to have the run back themselves. This game's going to go all day. Well, so I was working on the theory it was going to be 80 minutes. Someone would kick the ball out. That would be it. But it seems like it's going to just keep on going. Just think of the Scotland team. Oh, great run down the wing. Tony Pulu. That will be the last minute try. Man, he's quick. Oh, in fact, no, it's not even him. Zach Kimarishi, I think his name is. I thought it was Tony Pulu with the pace, but that is insane. Kiparigi, how quick he was going without trying there. They're going to be probably more than likely finishing this game 45 points to 42. So the Western Force will walk away with a bonus point for being within 7. Another game that was just jogs. I wish I was that fast. If I was that fast, I would run everywhere. Like, I'd go to the supermarket running at 1,000 miles an hour. From there, I'd just run. Maybe not run down the main street, because then people would think that I've probably, like, stolen something or I'm, like, running from someone. But, like, imagine the speed you could go. Imagine just running 30 Ks down the road like it's nothing. No way against the team is winning the Crusaders when the Crusaders are full strength. That's a fact, says Danston. Well, fun fact, on the Kiwi Lads Entertainment channel, we have a video where myself and George play Rugby Challenge 4, where we go head-to-head Crusaders versus Leinster. I don't actually remember who wins that one, though. So, might be worth a look. If you are keen, that will be the end of the Western Force versus Hurricanes game. Once Strawn does line up this kick, he does. It comes back round using the wind. It's gone over. End score 45 points to 42. Hurricanes win the game, but only just. Reminds me of that game between the Harlequins and the Stormers a little bit, the way that game slightly adjusted afterwards. But yeah, the next game, Samoa taking on Ireland. They will be playing at 9:05 p.m. New Zealand time, and that will be playing off for 9th. I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you all for